Welcome. They're already heckling me. Lisa, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So anyway, I appreciate y'all coming tonight, and I am trying to do what God has called me to do. And as you can see, I'm wondering how he's going to proceed with this. What I'm thinking we could do, though, is I was in a Cardinal commercial one year, and they took like 20 people and moved them around the stadium. So in the commercial, it looked really packed. So we're going to move you 5, and we're going to put you all together over here. Then we're going to put you in the back. I'm kidding. Lisa's like getting her purse ready to go. So anyway, I love to make people laugh. I feel like I have some stories to share that can let them know how much I love the Lord and let them know what they can persevere through. So that is how this all started. The first time I did it was in April, and I had about 26 people. And the second time I did it, and I had a blast in April, even though John was heckling me, but you two were here, and we just laughed, and we had a good time. Yes. So anyway, and then I did it in July, or August, the first week in August, I think, and I did not do so well. And what happened was just a lot of things in that day, and I always try to get prayed up. I always try to figure out what I'm going to talk about. And, I got a lot of advice after that first one. And people, sweetly criticized or sweetly encouraged another way to do it. And so that second one, I had a lot of, you told me I did great. I appreciate that. So I had in that second time, I think a lot of my head was in it. And I got to church, and the doors were locked. So people forgot to let me in. And then the air wasn't on. Now, y'all know me. So in the first week of August with no air in here, I looked like I was dying. Like in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be sweating, but I'm going to not look as bad as I did that first week in August. But anyway, I think they had fun. I think they laughed, but I was off. I was really off my game and felt very distracted. So I kind of let the devil win a little bit and took a little breather and thought, okay, Lord, forget it. I guess I'm not supposed to do this. Well, tonight was I'm going to make sure that I don't go out on I didn't want to go out on a bad note. So I am trying to be obedient, and that's why y'all are here for my third night. My son and I were talking yesterday, and he's like, Mom, you're not very good at marketing. And John just told me I'm not very good at marketing. And I got to do more than just Facebook. Well, I email churches. I am on Joy FM's calendar. Woohoo, but apparently that doesn't matter. And I have tried to put up signs, and you guys know I've tried. So know that it's not just Facebook, and know that my heart is just, I love the Lord. And just want to share how great he is and his glory. Since August, some things have happened to me and my life, and we can continue to laugh. I had a red car that was $750, and it was a 1997 Saturn, and it was a blessing for me for a couple of years. It got to where, though, if it was pouring down rain outside, I got in the car, and it was raining on me. Like I was in the car, and it was pouring on my head, and it really was. And so I didn't know about, just laugh anytime, you guys. Can you picture me? It was coming in at the seam of the top of the car. So I promise, it really was. So Matt, you laughing yet? So anyway, I got poured on inside my car, And when it was raining, pouring hard at night, I knew when I went out to my car in the morning there would be gnats and mosquitoes and stuff by my door because there was like 2 inches of water in my car, right, at the base. So I had mold, I had mildew, but it ran. You know, it got me from point A to point B. I was blessed with the car. So a few weeks after I spoke in August, it needed $1,000 worth of work again. And I was like, Lord, seriously, really? I got rain coming in on me. I got inches of water. I got to put in another 1,000. On the roof? Roof is the word I was looking for. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. So I'm just going to look over here, okay? So anyway, I went and thought, okay, Lord, if I get a loan, I don't know how I went here, because I was talking about Jesse, right? You guys had, what's... So I was trying to talk about my son. I'm a little distracted now because he's driving me crazy. But anyway, I went to the dealership. I got a new car. Praise the Lord, I think. I don't know. I haven't slept since I got it because I'm so stressed. But yeah, So anyway, I've got a new car. Probably not the wisest thing to do, but that's what I did. And I am safe. I got no rain coming in on me. I know that if I'm in an accident, I won't just die because there's no safety features and airbags. Thank you. See, the last time we were interactive and you talked back to me, right? Pam didn't want to come because she thought she'd make me nervous. I'm not nervous. It's okay. I'm glad you came and blessed me. She didn't want me to talk about her family like we were dysfunctional. So that wiped out about a half hour of what I was going to talk about tonight. No. So I was talking about Jesse, and he called and he said, Mom, you stink at marketing. You need to get a 3-minute or 30-second promo, and you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to offer people money if they come. I'm like, part of my stuff is that I'm poor, right? So I don't know that I can do a $25 gift card for those that bring the most people. And he's like, you need to offer good restaurants. You need to do this. He's in Denver. He's not helping me with any of this. He's just like, do this, do that. Well, I have that little video I have online that some people have watched, and it was of the first one. He called me yesterday, and I was laughing so hard. As you know, I perspire, right? I perspire up here. Jesse perspires everywhere else. And I was laughing so hard. I said, Jess, I'm going to have to talk about you. He goes, throw me under the bus, do whatever you need to do to make people laugh. It's okay. I've got other people in my family like, don't say a thing about me, right? Don't you mention. But Jesse's got a new job, and he has to wear suits. And he's like, Mom, I go in the bathroom after like an hour and a half, and I got sweat stains all the way down to my waist. And he's like, this is awful. I am so like you. Well, when he did sports and stuff, we just thought it was normal. He's thinking that he's just gonna ruin 7 suits and not be able to work and just pour sweat all over his body. And he definitely told it funnier than I just did. But anyway, I am going to strip my coat, which you didn't know you were coming to a strip tease. If nothing else, you can laugh at my arms. Wet, honey? Oh, thank you. It's hot. I went over to my daughter's to get a jacket for tonight. Got it, put it in a chair, made them look for it to get it. It's cooler than that one. And left without it. That's what I did. All right, so last time we talked, I did. Oh, hush up. So the first time, this video isn't going very far, I can tell that. Edit it? Okay. So anyway, the first time I talked, I talked about my bad arm, right? I talked about my spoons debacle where I fell. Well, I fell doing something and shattered my arm. So apparently I like to fall a lot. You're looking at me like you don't know this at all. No. Oh, wow. No. All right. So anyway, I was going to tell you about that experience when I fell, holding a puppy, went outside my house, Christmas time, fell on the front stoop because I did not move a twig. I guess it was a stick. And I was like, okay, Lord, I'm not moving it, right? He's saying move. I felt like Moses, pick it up, do it. And I didn't do it. So I fell forward, had a little golden retriever puppy that was absolutely adorable, right? It's 3 days after Christmas. I fall forward. I throw my right arm out, trying to protect the puppy. I hit the side of my brick house. My socket pops out of my arm. I fall down and shatter whatever this is. No, I think it's the femur, something. Oh, femur's my leg. So I think it was my humerus bone up here, and it was not funny. I laid on my front porch in the ice and snow with a little golden retriever puppy licking my face. Like, oh my Lord, what just happened, right? I am screaming bloody murder. It's 5:30 a.m. I went outside with a shirt on and my red, adorable, cute coat that had frilly ruffles and high clogs. Not a smart thing, right? My daughter was up all night with the puppy and said, Mom, take him out. I'm tired. Take him out. So at 5:30, I'm like, sure, I'll take out the puppy. Well, I know that as a lady, I'm not supposed to talk about brassieres or underwear or bladder problems, especially in a church, right? So I never do this, but I was commando. I was commando. Do you young people know what that? Okay, all right. So I'm outside on a frozen brick step and I never not have that on, right? I chose that night to just, So I'm outside with a short coat, right? Clogs like this, and I'm laying on the stoop, screaming my bloody head off. 5:30 in the morning. The neighbors the next day say to my daughter, what was it about? None of them came out. I could have been getting like knifed, killed. None of them cared. My daughter's on the couch. Now I'm laying this way. This is shattered, and I can't get up. That was the whole spoons thing. I couldn't get up then either, right? So she comes running to the door, and she's pushing the screen door on my broken arm. Because she can't get out to me. So she's pushing me. I'm screaming hysterically, and she's trying to squeeze through the door. I think she was worried about the puppy more than me, but no. Somebody said later, Susie, don't you have a back door to your house? Couldn't you have just ran outside the back door and come around and helped your mom? And she's like, you don't think of that stuff when your mom's laying there screaming her head off, right? So we had to call an ambulance. That was interesting. Have you seen that video on Facebook where they're ambulance skits or videos? Have you seen it? No? Well, it's funny. It's really sad because all these people are hurt, but they're like falling on them and they're throwing them over, and the ambulance, thank you, Gurney. I can't think of words, and Susie's like, you want to be a speaker. So anyway, the gurneys were falling over and things were happening. Well, I had 5 men trying to get me up on a gurney, okay? I got a shattered arm that's hurting really bad, and I'm just not able to help them. So anyway, they get me finally in the ambulance. They cut off my coat, my beautiful red coat, cut it off because they had to get to this arm. And the ambulance takes off because I'm in so much pain, and a fireman falls on top of me. So he falls on top of me in between my legs, and they've cut my coat off. They're trying to get an IV in my arm, and I'm in commando, right? And this man, I taught his 2 children. I'm like, oh. No, it's not funny. So anyway, it was funny. It was funny. Yeah, they were going so fast that he fell on me on purpose. Okay. So so anyway, he was wonderful, and they got me to the hospital and took care of me, and I was in the hospital for like 6 days. I had surgery, all that good stuff. I've got a scar. But I say now all the time to my kids, bad arm, I can't do anything, So that's become a joke. Why can't mom help carry this outside? Bad arm, bad arm. So I don't get much sympathy anymore, but that was 7 years ago. So the puppy survived, and he's Charlie. He's my dog now, okay? And Pam, that coat, I think was mom's maybe. So that's where I got that. So to answer your question, I wasn't ignoring you. But anyway, I tend to fall a lot apparently, and my things that make me fall or happen to fall. I was climbing on a chair at Susie's trying to get dead flowers off their bookshelf, and I should know better, right? I've fallen, I've broken things, and I'm on this chair, and I'm leaning up, and the chair goes down. And the chair doesn't just go this way, it goes this way. I get bruised into the bookshelf, get thrown backwards, get bruised again. And I'm praying the whole time that Lily won't wake up. She's asleep. And I fall down on my bad arm on the chair. You're supposed to be laughing. It was funny. I'm making it up. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, I tend to fall. A story that was told all my life. You guys know this one. That when I was like crawling, my mom was in the kitchen. We had a door to the basement. And she saw that I was close to the open door because my dad was outside. And, we had a house with a garage door in the back, so he could see into the basement. And mom went to grab me and fell and pushed me. Right? Didn't that happen? I don't know if it was, but she pushed her little baby out the door, down the stairs, and I'm going through the air, right? And I'm going to land on concrete, and my dad is outside seeing his baby girl doing this and comes running to save me, running to catch me. And he gets hung on the clothesline. Are you picturing? Yeah, so he gets hung, mom's like at the top screaming and crying, and I fall and hit the concrete floor, cement floor. That's what's wrong with me. That's right. So from that fall, right? From that fall, I just tend to do that. That night, they took me to the hospital. I think I got a couple of stitches in my mouth. You guys are older. You're much older. Okay, I got 2 stitches in the corner of my mouth. My dad had like an ice pack on his neck, and my mom took some drugs, I think, to sit there that night because they felt so bad that happened to me. Being the baby, is hard, right? You wouldn't know. Lisa's the baby. So anyway, how many of you go through drive-thrus? Do you go through drive-thrus? How many of you feel like a Christian after you've gone through a drive-thru? I have gone through a drive-thru, and those big things, we've got something going on. Those big things that are in life, right? Those big, tough things, it's easy to be a strong Christian. It's easy to hang in there and ask God for help. But when you're going through a drive-through, I have not been joyed by Joy FM people. But I love going through a drive-through, and I've ordered like an unsweet iced tea. I'm on a diet. I'm trying to not drink Diet Coke. I say unsweet iced tea. I go up to the window. I've learned. I take a sip. I don't pull away. I take a sip. Do you know how many times unsweet iced tea is Coke? Do they even sound alike? No. And I want to hit the people. Is that Christian? No? So I have learned to, John's like, I don't get it. So anyway, if I want to get unsweet iced tea, I've had people argue with me at the window. You didn't order unsweet iced tea. It's $1. Why are we arguing about this? Yes, I did. I did not order a Coke. I'm a diabetic. I'm not going to order a Coke. And they're arguing with me. I swear this has happened. Any fast food place, it has happened. So now I take a sip. I sit there and wait. I don't go on because I don't want to make people, I don't want them to have to get out and actually move, right? And so I always check. I had somebody just really not want to give me my unsweet iced tea. Really? So I just said, please, I tried to be nice. And then I'm like screaming, give me. So I need your prayers about drive-thrus because I apparently can't handle them very well. Yes. Park and go inside. Thank you, John. Maybe we should tour together. Maybe people would show up if you were my sidekick. You think so? I don't know. So anyway, I feel like nowadays there's a lot of texting, there's a lot of accidents. I had quite a few people today talk to me that were going to come, and they had a memorial service last night, memorial service today. Did not, feel up to come, and I get it. Life happens, and that's why I was trying to make people laugh. I had a dear friend a couple of weeks ago. Her and her daughter were in their car, and her and her daughter and the baby, an 18-month-old baby, were in this really bad accident. And the daughter's 21. The baby survived without anything wrong with him at all. He was in a car seat. She was on 44. She hit a deer. The deer made her stop, and a tow truck just totally rammed into her. Didn't slow down, didn't brake. I know I'm supposed to be funny, but this really did happen. And so I know things like that happen. I know accidents happen. She was not texting. I don't know if the truck driver was paying attention, but I went to the hospital today to see that little girl, and her mom was going to come, and her aunt was going to come. So I know things do happen, and people that told me they were coming, it's good reasons. But this little girl has been in a coma for a week and a half, and she broke every bone in her face. And so, yeah, the 21-year-old. My friend broke 2 vertebrae in her back. And my point of all this is accidents happen, things happen. People are not paying attention. They're texting. I don't text because my kids yell at me. And now that I've got a new car, I can actually talk to the dash, which is very exciting. I don't really know how to turn on my phone, but we can figure that out, right? And I dial somebody and the thing comes up. And I just remember when we were growing up, how I stood in between mom and dad in the front seat with my arms around their necks as we're going to church, and mom's putting on her makeup in the rearview mirror, right? And we did unsafe things then too. But God just really took care of us. And I know that people with mom, going down Manchester with her mascara getting put on, and she did, you guys, yeah. And this is why Pam didn't want to come, because I shared something about mom that she doesn't think is funny. No, but we did all those silly things and God provided and protected us. So accidents happen, be careful. Don't, I'm stupid and I've tried to give my insulin shot while I'm driving. I know, I gotta admit those things though, right? And, having a needle break off in your abdomen is not a fear. So, I know. My family's, you're gonna need to take a, is that it? Because I needed that insulin, yeah. Stay in the living room, not go anywhere.
Then you wouldn't fall, and you wouldn't go through drive-thrus, and you wouldn't get hurt.
I really should hand these mics to you guys, because the video is not going to share what you've said. They're bad. My family is not invited next time. Lisa, you can come. Okay. I'm sweating, aren't I? I know how Jesse feels, except mine is all over. All right. So, I love car talks. I love talks in the car. I love to be with people, talk to them, not pay attention. You go to restaurants nowadays and everybody in the family's got a phone out, right? So I feel like in the car, I've got their undivided attention. So I drove Jesse to Kansas City the other day, drove him straight. We had 3.5 hours of I know I couldn't stop and talk to her, but we had 3.5 hours. My niece lives in Kansas City. I should explain those things, right? So anyway, I love that time. He really talks to me. We sing praise songs. He sings some songs that I probably wouldn't have ever heard of. And, he just loves being in there. Well, today my granddaughter was driving me crazy. She's 2, and she was driving me crazy with being a 2-year-old. So I finally take her back to her house, and I think, I've really been yelling at her a lot. So I'm just going to take this moment, And I turn around in my seat. I'm parked. I'm not driving, right? I'm turned around in my seat. She's in her car seat, so it's it's a restrained place, right? And I say, okay, Miss Lily. I said, you did a couple of things today that we need to talk about. Now, she's 2.5, right? Okay, Nana. I said, you can't stick a sucker in another kid's mouth. Like she's going up to other kids and pushing it in their mouth. You can't grab another child's hand and drag them to where you want to go. This little baby is so innocent that she would go with anybody. It really kind of scares me, We got to figure this out before she's older, because she would take anybody's hand and go with them. She wants to imprint on every other family. I'm not good enough. She just want to go find another family with children, So I said, we can't grab other kids and just take them wherever you want. And we can't, forgot the third thing. The sucker going with strangers. Oh my goodness, it was an important one. Spitting? She does not spit. Did she hit you in the face? Oh, okay. She hits Josh in the face all the time. But anyway, and so I'm having this really serious conversation. She's looking intently in my eyes, and I'm like, so do you understand what Nanny's saying? Okay. Tomorrow we're going to be pulling people but it was just so cool that she was listening to me. And God wants us to listen to him, right? So he tries to talk to us. And I'll tell you what, God is so good. He talks to me. Now, I'm not real sure always why he doesn't talk sooner about some things, like why I can't get a job and keep it for more than a month, right? Everybody in here knows that story. I got hired by a full-time job. Going back to 8th grade, did a room, did all this stuff, loved it, loved being a part of a staff, and got let go. So he doesn't talk to me about that kind of stuff, but I lost my title to my new car. I didn't get it in the mail, or thought I didn't get it in the mail and couldn't find it. And do you know that after I panicked and couldn't find it and ordered another copy, that he literally, and some people would be really worried about me, but I know he helped me figure out where it was. Have you had that experience? I mean, I love that we are that connected. He literally, I don't remember my name most days, right? And he's like, in a still small voice, Jane, you saw the envelope. Jane, you really did. It did show up at the house. You didn't, because I was like, you didn't mail it. It's your fault. I'm going to get charged a fee for my plates. They're like, we put trackers on our titles now, so people can't say that. So they knew the day and the hour that it got delivered. And I found my title. It's that kind of little relationship that I would love to have those answers in other areas, like big areas, right? Right? Lord, send me a letter. Show me, right? So anyway, I love you guys. I'm sweating a lot. I'm not feeling a connection tonight. John, you're not laughing enough. There you go. So I'm going to not, four of the five of you have heard me before, and we're going to dinner. So you're one of the four. Okay.
You teach math.
I wasn't counting Mima. I'm sorry. There's 5. Okay. I'm glad I'm cutting this short, right? Because we're going to fight in a minute, right? Well, there's 7, 8, and there's 9. So I could say 9 showed up. I'm so excited. Well, they offer to go grab a friend on the street that they know, go in their house and say, you know what? God cannot ever say that I didn't try, right? God cannot ever say that I didn't persevere. And even if I'm not being called to this, I gave it a shot, right? Amen. So, anyway, Pam told me she had to leave early, Matt. So I'm just going to say I love you guys. Thanks for helping me. Well, Aamaud might be too. I was really funny on my first night. You need to look at wit and wisdom. And I'm funny. Oh. That's right. That's right. Ain't nothing stealing my joy, girl. That's right. But one thing's for certain, I love the Lord. And I appreciate you guys giving your time and coming to see me. And I apologize if you... Okay, I don't apologize. It's too late. So, do you want... If there's 2 flies, Matt, can you be my bouncer, Matt? Matt's laughing a lot, but I don't think the video can see it. Matt and Aamaud and I went on mission tours. Matt used to be one of my students at Brentwood, and I love him so much, and we did a thing, we could be on a mission tour, and you get all weird, and so every time I'd see Matt, well, that didn't sound good, did I? Not weird, bad weird. You get just real relaxed and you act crazy. And, I'm 40 and I'm acting like a young person. Gosh, never mind. You guys' mind is, okay, so. So Matt and I, every time I'd see him in the church or anywhere, I'd just scream his name. See, he's laughing. I go, hi, Matt! Didn't I? And then poor Aamaud had to deal with me. We went on trips.
I've had to deal with you
Aamaud goes to church here. He videos Tim all the time. And Matt's the music guy. And Matt has 5 babies. I should get them in my act because that would be funny, right? Aamaud's younger than Matt. Okay, all right. You're old. This is the weirdest night, I think. Okay, so no, not weird. I had quite a few say interested, and Susie said they say interested because they don't want to hurt your feelings and say no. So I had 6 for sure's.
Hey, look, 6.
I had 6 for sure's.
I never for sure.
And I have,
So you had some for sures that didn't show up.
And you had a negative one. Who came?
She really netted 6. Started with 6 and it.
Two negatives and a positive.
all I knew was when my daughter said she wasn't coming because she was too tired, I thought, okay, that's it. She told me she'd come every time, anytime, all the time. But that's okay, right? You're laughing because you're getting to leave.
You're drawn out this exit. I mean, 5 minutes ago you said you were done. We're still sitting here.
Oh, some Pam stories are going to come. You guys want some Pam stories? Let's hear some Pam stories.
Aren't you going to have them pass the plate?
Perfect Pam.
That's right.
This is about to be a holiday.
Perfect Pam, favorite child. Okay, I think the funny bone would treat me better, Matt. Non-Christians. Jesse's like, Mom, don't go to the funny bone. Mom, they're going to throw things at you. And he goes, then I'll have to come home and get killed. Well, I can be.
Yeah, get them before they're drunk.
I actually think you do very well. You do well with troubled youth, and that's
I do well with troubled youth. Matt loves math because of me. I love you guys, and I love the Lord, and I so appreciate you coming and being faithful.